Hi, this is Mr. West, and today we're doing a Khan Academy tutorial on number of solutions to a system of equations algebraically. This was a special request from the Chatta family that was left as a comment. Thank you so much for the request. If you have your own request on a worksheet, Khan Academy tutorial, or some other math problem, leave a comment and I'll get to it as fast as I can. So for this one, we're just trying to find if these systems of equations, that means two or more equations with two variables, so we have an x and a y, if they have one solution, no solutions, or infinite number of solutions. So the example they give to start is y equals 5 plus 6x, and also y equals 6x plus 5. We need to decide if it's A, B, or C. I'm going to talk about each one. So with letter A, we have one solution. What does it mean to have one solution? Well, I'm looking at this right here, just so we're all looking at the same thing. Okay. You see that if we have a line that's blue and a line that's red here, and they intersect at one point, that means there's only one x and one y that will make a true statement for both equations. Okay, so for example, we could have a point over here that would be true for the red line, but it would not be true for the blue line. Or we could have a point over here that'd be true for the blue line, but not for the red line. There's only one location that it would be true for both, and that's right where they intersect. Okay, that's the majority of lines. Now for part B, it's no solutions. No solutions means they don't ever intersect. Okay, so they're going to be parallel lines. They have the same slope, different y-intercepts, and they never intersect. They're never going to cross. There's no values that will be true for both of those. Okay, so there are going to be some true for that one, some true for that one, x and y, but none that's going to work for both. Okay, and then the last one is true for all points. So you can see, you might be able to see here, the red and blue line are exactly on top of each other, so every single point works for both, and that just means it's the same line. So if it's the same line, that means all the points, any that you can choose for x and y, are all going to work. Okay, now what does this look like algebraically? Well, algebraically, this is going to look like, well, let's see. Let's start with C and B, okay? And we'll get to A in a little bit. So C, if it works out algebraically, you're going to get something like this. You're going to get an equation where it works out where we have 0 equals 0, 2 equals 2, something like that, where it's the same on both sides. That means everything's going to work. It makes a true statement when you solve it with substitution, and it's always going to work. Okay, so if you get this case, it's infinite solutions. If you get something for B where it's like 0 equals 5 or 2 equals 10, well, that's obviously not true. You have a case where it's no solutions. Okay, so that's the case there. And then for A, we're going to get like x equals a number or y equals a number. Okay, something specific. And that just means there's only one point that satisfies it. So if we're looking at this one, how do we determine if it's A, B, or C? What you're going to want to do is, I like to use substitution, especially if it's both solved for y and both of these. We're going to just set them equal to each other. So I'm going to replace, let's highlight this. I'm going to replace that y with that 6x plus 5. So it looks like this. We have 6x plus 5, and then we're going to set that equal to 5 plus 6x. Now, another thing you can do is you can graph this like in a program like Desmos and see it, but this one's saying algebraically, how do we do it? So I'm going to show you algebraically how do we do that. The first thing I always do when I'm solving for a systems of equations, I want to get the x by itself. And you can see that we have x on both sides, so we need to move the x. Usually you move the smaller one, but there's not a smaller one, which kind of gives us a clue how this is going to work out. But I'll go ahead and subtract 6x from both sides. Once you do that, that cancels, you're left with 5 equals 5. That's exactly what I said for part C. This is the same line. Okay, so if you were going to rearrange this, put the 6x plus there, or over there, they're going to be the exact same line. So this is infinitely many solutions. We're going to go ahead and choose that one, and we verified it, okay, in two ways. All right, here we go. Next one. How many solutions does the system have? All right, so for this one, basically, this is my thought process. We're going to see if it's no solutions or infinitely many solutions. And if it's not either one of those, we're just going to assume it's exactly one solution. Okay, because exactly one solution kind of takes a while to solve exactly where it crosses. So we're just going to eliminate the two easiest choices first. Now, looking here, and there's not an easy way to substitute this. It doesn't look like it's the same line. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to solve for y here just to make this a little bit more simple. So I'm going to solve for y, and that means I'm going to divide by 4 to both sides. So I'm going to get 4y divided by 4 is just y. I get y on the left side. Then I have to divide both 4x by 4 and also 8 divided by 4. Don't forget to do that. That's an important step. So I have 4x divided by 4. That just gives me x. And then 8 divided by 4 gives me 2. So now I have two different equations here. Okay, and notice how we don't have the same slope. The slope is the number in front of the x. So let me go ahead and give a quick demonstration. So if we have our normal slope-intercept form, we have this value that's in front of the x. That's our slope, m, also known as m. And you can see that our m is 1 and 4. So we have two different slopes, so we know it's not going to be no solutions because they don't have the same slope. Eventually they're going to cross if they have different slopes. And infinitely many solutions, we also need the same slope for that, so we know it's not going to be infinitely many solutions either. Like I said, if it's the same line, okay, so one line and then one line on top of each other, you need the same slope in order for that to happen. Even for parallel slopes where they never cross, you need the same slope. Okay, so we know this is going to be exactly one solution just because they have different slopes. And I can quickly show that, hopefully, by substituting this in for y, okay, because these are, we can substitute, this value for this. And I'm going to show you that we can solve for an x. If you can solve for an x or y, that means it's going to be one solution. So we have x minus 2 equals 4x minus 2. I'm going to subtract x from both sides first, the smaller x. I get minus 2 equals 3x minus 2. And then I can add 2, and then I get 3x equals 0. X is going to equal 0. But that's okay. Don't be like, oh, it equals 0. No, that's fine. That means it's somewhere on our coordinate plane. X is going to be equal to 0. But this is going to, you're going to plug that back in. I'll do that fast. And we're going to get negative 8 for y. Okay, so that's our one solution. But again, I could tell because the slopes were different. And we're moving on. Okay, let's take a look here. All right, so I have a feeling I already know which one this is. We can verify by solving for y in both these equations. So I'm going to do subtract 8x from both these equations, actually, because I'm trying to get the y by itself. That'll allow us to have it in slope-intercept form, where we can analyze the slopes. So I have 2y equals 14 minus 8x. 2y equals 4 minus 8x. I'm going to divide by 2 to finish it off. Divide by 2, divide by 2. And I get y equals, and also feel free to pause or slow this video down, rewind. That's what this is for, okay? So this is kind of fast. If you need to rewind it, go ahead. That's the whole point of having it as a video. So we have 2 minus 4x. Okay, so take a look. Do we have the same slope? We do have the same slope, okay? So they're moving in the same direction, but notice how they have a different y-intercept, okay? What does that mean? Well, that means they're moving in the same direction, like this, but they're intersecting the y-axis at different places. We're going to have no solutions here because they are not going to intersect. Let me show you what that looks like when we solve, because again, we're not just doing graphing, we're doing it algebraically. So if we substitute this value, okay, in for y, we're going to substitute this value in for y. This is what it will look like. We have 2 minus 4x equals 7 minus 4x. Take a look. So we're going to add 4x to both sides. They're both the same, so it doesn't really matter which one we move. Cancels, cancels. We're left with 2 equals 7. See what I'm talking about where we have an untrue statement happening? Okay, that's no solutions. And I showed you two different ways to figure that out. Last one. Okay, so we have y equals negative 5x plus 1 and y equals 1 minus 5x. Okay, I'm going to do the quick version on this one. And the reason why is I see I have a, whoops, I meant the highlighter. I have a negative 5x and a negative 5x, and I have a positive 1 and a positive 1. I could rearrange this bottom one to be y equals negative 5x plus 1. If it's the same equation, then it's going to be infinitely many solutions. And again, we could substitute it in. We get negative 5x plus 1, negative 5x plus 1, add 5x. I get 1 equals 1. That's a true statement. Always infinitely many solutions, and we are done. That's all there is to it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you have your own request, make sure to leave a comment. I have lots of other videos similar to this one. Make sure to check out my Khan Academy playlist, and I look forward to seeing you next time right here on West Explains Best.